interesting clash of, I guess, pre-fight styles here. And what I mean by that is I talked to Paul Teague beforehand, said one of the things he likes the most about MMA is the head game and getting into the head of his opponent before the fight even starts. And I also talked to Johnny Boyd, who said his least favorite thing about MMA is people trying to get into his head. So you have an interesting kind of pre-fight fight taking place in the minds of these two fighters. Does that take, Casey, and as someone that's been around the sport for a long time, does that take a toll?
Well, it certainly takes a toll. This the fight game is like not quite 100%, but you're talking 99% head game, because everything that your body does is based around your mind's ability to make that happen. So if you get shut down mentally, then the physical aspects are out the window. And Johnny Boyd says that's his least favorable part of the game. That means either he's psyched out or he's angry about the attempted psych out.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, 3 3-minute rounds in the featherweight division, brought to you by Carolina Hydropent. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your hometown beatdown. Both fighters out of Easley, South Carolina. Introducing first, the fighter on my right, fighting out of the red corner, representing Ground Force MMA, Easley, South Carolina. His record: 2 wins, 1 defeat, Johnny Boyd. And now his opponent, standing across the cage, fighting out of the blue corner, representing Total Force MMA, Senshi Karate, Easley, South Carolina, with a record of 3 wins, 2 defeats. Give it up for the Ninja Turtle, Paul Teague.
Now, during these announcements, I saw Paul Teague look over at Johnny Boyd, giving the fist, saying, hey, you want to touch gloves? Johnny Boyd shook his head and said, I don't want any part of that. Let's just come out here and fight.
Johnny Boyd said he likes to come, take care of business, and then leave. The theatrics of it all, not something that Johnny Boyd likes, something that Paul Teague loves.
Now, talk about the head game. What does that say to Paul Teague? Does that get in the head of Paul Teague, where Johnny Boyd says, I don't care about none of that. Let's fight.
We're going to find out right here at USFFC 22, an electrifying 145-pound matchup. Paul Teague swinging for the fences to kick things off.
Yeah, and again, 2 diverse styles right here. Johnny Boyd in a traditional stance. Paul Teague, he's all over the place. And now Johnny Boyd looking for the takedown.
Paul Teague throwing a front kick that landed with a little bit of snap to it, and then a reverse elbow. Johnny Boyd able to wrap up in a clinch and get his man down. However, Paul Teague has what looks like a loose guillotine on Johnny Boyd.
Well, he's holding on for dear life right there. And right here's a bit of jockeying for position right now, because Johnny Boyd, he wants to pull Paul Teague off his base, but you gotta watch out for the guillotine. Paul Teague, obviously, he wants to stay off of his back if he's against the cage right there, maybe possibly work his way back to a standing base, and that's what he's doing here.
Paul Teague said that he's been training for a year. He comes from a boxing background, but wanted to take it to the next level.
Oh, here we go. Look at this, Paul Teague looking to secure that guillotine even tighter here. Back to his feet, landing the knees on Johnny Boyd. Oh, big shot there by Paul Teague, and then a left hand.
Good kick from Paul Teague to the side rib cage of Johnny Boyd. Paul Teague with his hands a little low.
And Johnny Boyd, again, crouched in, keeping his chin in tight, ready for those unorthodox strikes there of Paul Teague. That was a beautiful spinning back kick there by Teague. And he ends up on his back yet again, the second time tonight.
Johnny Boyd told me that the thing he loves the most about mixed martial arts is the ability to legally take a guy down and beat him up and not get arrested for it. So that might be the game plan here tonight for Johnny Boyd.
Well, it's always best to avoid a criminal prosecution, if at all possible. That's what mixed martial arts is all about.
Great advice, Casey. Johnny Boyd's been training martial arts for 10 years. He's with Ground Force MMA, and told me that one of the styles he likes to enforce in his ability is catch as catch can, known as catch wrestling, somewhat of a forgotten submission style here in America.
Well, Josh Barnett, that's one man that has made it very popular. Look at Johnny Boyd moving to the back, looking for the submission there on Paul Teague, landing a few shots.
Johnny Boyd looks like he's got one arm in, but not he doesn't really have the choke locked up, although that's what he's
going for the top, though, and he's taking the top position, flattening out Paul Teague.
Paul Teague in big trouble.
That's not a good spot at all.
Johnny Boyd getting the gable grip, and this could be the end
for
tight. Paul Teague.
That's tight right there. Paul Teague battling, though. Breaking the grip of Johnny Boyd, but Johnny Boyd clamping down even harder.
Can Johnny Boyd finish it from this position?
And it's done. Over with. Big win by Johnny Boyd here.
And Johnny Boyd gets the tap out. Referee Blake Grice called an end to this contest in the first round, and the hometown beatdown is over. Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm sorry.
Is that the end of the round?
No, that's not the end of the round. That's not the end of the fight. That was just the end of the round.
That's the end of the round.
Okay. Whoops. A rare mistake from two professionals here. You know, Michael Jordan misses free throws sometimes. Tiger Woods misses putts every once in a while.
Matt, why are you selling Paul Teague up the river, my friend? This fight's not over. Come on.
A rare slip up. We now go to the second round. You know, I didn't think I saw the tap out.
Well, you know, I think Johnny Bond thought that the fight was over. He kind of raised his arms and walked around the cage. He thought it was done. And now we're hearing that we got more to come.
We do. We have another round to go. Two more rounds to go,
possibly. Now, is that going to get in the head of Johnny Boyd? You think the fight's over, you're ready to go back and celebrate, have a beer or two maybe, and you're being told you got to get back in there and do it again. But you know what? Johnny Boyd, you said he mentioned it before, he likes to get in there and, you know, and bust noses and not go to jail for it.
Yeah, and we saw that in the first round. Paul Teague going to have to try to avoid the takedown here in the second round, because that seems to be Johnny Boyd's game. Johnny Boyd told me before the fight that a catch wrestler's main objective is to not be put on their back, and that his whole game is top position, strikes from up top, and if the sub's there, he'll take it. Teague coming into this fight with a 3-fight win streak. He is 3-1. He's fought 4 times in his rookie year.
Look at this. These guys are exploding right out of the gate. Paul Teague with a big kick, and Johnny Boyd stuffs it. Wow, look at this big takedown by Paul Teague.
Great toss by Paul Teague, putting Johnny Boyd on his back, the place he said he didn't want to be. Now Paul Teague has hooks in and may lose a back position.
Yeah, but Johnny Boyd needs to watch that left arm. Paul Teague looking for a submission, and Johnny Boyd aborts and is now moments from taking the back possibly of Paul Teague. Maybe not, maybe crossbody. These guys are very wiry individuals, and they are grappling in that same fashion.
And you know, Paul Teague, while so far seems to be in a spot where he would want to keep this fight standing, he has won 2 of his last 3 victories by submission, and he won his last fight in less than a minute. So here's a guy that does have dangerous subs, but it's going to be tough to throw him up with a guy like Johnny Boyd in a controlling side mount like this.
Yeah, and it looks like Johnny Boyd looking to strip the left arm of Paul Teague off of his neck, maybe looking for that Americana lock, which is an American catch-as-catch-can move.
That's right. That's right.
A lot of people don't realize it's called the Americana because that means American arm lock. It was originally adapted from catch-as-catch-can by Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Catch-as-catch-can, old submission wrestling martial art developed in the old wrestling days.
You didn't think I knew anything about that. No, you thought I was all Gracie Jiu-Jitsu.
Well, you learned me something with the Americana. I
know a little something about Luthez.
Josh Barnett, like you mentioned earlier, a pioneer of the modern day catch wrestling technique.
And I'll say this, a gentleman or a lot of people may not know this, but you know, out of Asheville there, the black eye, one man who is really closely related to those guys over the years has been Billy Wicks. You know, and that's a very famous American catch-as-catch-can wrestler who's still living. He's getting up in there in years, but a tough guy. I remember years ago, I was at a judo tournament, and he showed me the catch-as-catch-can headlock, which consisted of the left knuckle into the eye socket, and it looks like right now Johnny Boyd looking for a finish with American arm lock, and Paul Teague squirming his way out yet again, and it looks like a schoolyard headlock. employed by Paul Teague right now.
Paul Teague doing a good job of minimizing damage, not doing much in the position of improving his position, but avoiding strikes for the most part. Johnny Boyd able to neutralize his opponent, stay on top for most of the round. If I'm a judge, I'm probably going to score that one for Boyd just for the neutralization of the top control throughout the course of the round.
Yeah, he controlled that top position, and honestly, Johnny Boyd probably closed out the first. You know, he had the rear naked choke position. He probably stole round one as well. If I'm in the corner of Paul Teague, if he wants to continue that win streak that he's on, he's going to have to come out here and do something dramatic in the third round.
And when a fighter's down 2 rounds, or possibly down 2 rounds, there ought to be a dramatic change in game plan. Because you know, if you're Paul Teague, that likely you have to finish here in the third in order to secure the victory.
That's right. Finish, finish, finish. Avoid the clinch if at all possible, because it's not been going his way in the ground game, the ground portion of the fight. So he needs to move. He needs to land some of those more unorthodox shots, because he's had some success in the standing portion of the fight so far.
Paul Teague's one loss in his MMA career happened in his very first fight. He took it here in Greenville on very short notice, lost in less than 1 minute, and has bounced back with 3 victories with his back up against the wall here in the third round of USFFC 22.
And again, here we go. We've got Johnny Boyd closing that distance with that clinch, looking for the takedown yet again. And Paul Teague attacking that guillotine. Once again, it appears to be somewhat tight.
Johnny Boyd
has aborted the legs, and he is defending that guillotine with all he's got. He could be in trouble right here.
Johnny Boyd wincing with the guillotine tight.
Oh, yeah.
Paul Teague,
that's very tight.
Everything he has into it right now. Can Paul Teague get
and he gets out, but I think it took its toll. You can tell that guillotine is taking its toll on Johnny Boyd.
Johnny Boyd relentless on the single leg takedown attempt of Paul Teague. He's got Paul's right arm trapped underneath the leg that he's trying to pull up, and he's able to get his man down to the ground. Paul Teague told fellow fans prior to the fight that he is not expecting a friendly greeting from his opponent, and told people that he is going to welcome Johnny Boyd to hell, and he's only got a few minutes left to send him his invitation.
Well, right now, Teague really needs to be looking to escape that leg lace and work his way back to the standing base here, because Johnny Boyd is going to grind him on out right here now that he has escaped that guillotine attack.
Paul Teague needing to show some activity here late in the third round, perhaps looking for Blake Grice to stand him up.
You know, that guillotine probably scored pretty good. Does it outscore the takedown and the ground and pound action? Who knows? But the first 2 rounds undoubtedly went to Johnny Boyd. So right here, Paul Teague is in a make or break situation, do or die, if you will. You see Johnny Boyd sinking that right hook just inches above that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles tattoo on the arm of Paul Teague.
Yep. And Paul Teague,
his namesake.
Very little place to go for Paul Teague.
Oh, here.
Johnny Boyd now
sinking
has
that
a
rear naked choke. That's tight. That is tight, and Johnny Boyd, he seals the victory. Paul Teague with a tap out.
That is a great win for Johnny Boyd. And now, officially, the hometown beatdown is over.
Yeah.
Unlike my first one.
Let's see if we get a handshake at the end of this, or is it going to be more animosity? Let's find out right here. Oh, we get the handshake.
There's the handshake.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's all good, no matter what.
Let's take it to Applebee's, brother. You know what I mean? And you hear it's hammer time.
What a great preliminary card so far for USFFC 22. We're going to wrap it up with one more fight between Alex McBride and Shannon Gofferty. For the women's mixed martial arts division, then we will enter our amateur side of the card with Tony Rogers versus Sean Coates. Tony Rogers' brother. Actually, I think that fight was canceled. Brandon the Kid Webb takes on Travis Varner to kick off the amateur card.
Ladies and gentlemen, Georgia State Hall of Fame referee Blake Grice takes a stop to this fight at 228. Round number 3. Your winner by tap out due to rear naked choke, Johnny Hammer Time Boyd.